Hi everyone. My project is named One Student, One Dream at a Time. My name is Juliana. I am from Cote d'Ivoire and I am a student at Cornell College. I chose this capstone project because I just first have the firm belief that education is empowering and it is the door to many other things. Then I also believe that opportunities need to be more accessible to rural areas, especially in my country. And then dropout rates are getting concerning in my community. I just saw more and more people that were not going to school, that were my age, that was supposed to be getting education but were not. And then child labor was getting too normalized with students that are supposed to be going to school working in farms, and there was just physical and psychological needs that I felt like were negatively impacting the performance of students that were enrolled in these schools. For the historical context of that, I research and I believe that the root cause of this problem can be traced to colonization and marginalization of northern population during this time. The colonization method was to just focus on areas that had the coast. So the south of my country was highly invested in when the other parts were just not. And then with like poor infrastructures, there's just very limited motivation for teachers to be oriented in these areas and for just education and investment in education to be made in this area. The goal of this project were to first identify the root causes of child labor and dropout rates. Then I wanted to raise awareness around children right, reduce the percentage of dropouts, introduce students to the concept of agency that I'm very grateful I was introduced to, which is the ability of students to project themselves into a successful future. So to have this sense of knowing that they are in charge of their future and they can work towards a better future and just increase the number of parents that were engaged in supporting their children academically. For my events in December 2025, I flew home and then I decided to put together a parents information and discussion conference in the middle school in my community where we have parents around 100 and no, around 200 actually that met and then had conversations around the challenges that they were facing as parents to support their children and just how they think they can be better moving forward. We had a second one the following day with middle schooler where it was solely focusing on students and what are their needs and where they feel like the community as a whole can improve and make the success easier technically. And we had a similar session with elementary schoolers and again the same conversations. The overall kind of summary of these events was a lot of things around what are the challenges, what is going good, how can it be improved? And then over at the end of all these experiences, I decided to put together a documentary just highlighting education and the challenges of education in my community. For my wins, I believe that there was this understanding of a shared responsibility. Parents decided that it was not solely the student responsibility to be successful at school, but they had a part to play in it. Same for teachers, same for students. So the concept of this shared responsibility was really understood. A second win can be the number of participants. We had more than 500 participants that showed up for this, which is really incredible. So that really showed people's interest in making efforts towards making education a better thing in my community. And then we had motivation from students where we had students that actually were able to highlight the challenges that they are facing and receive tips on how to be better. And they seem to be very motivated about that, especially because we came at a time where it was after the first term and a lot of students were feeling very down because of the results. So I was able to track few months ago to know if they performed better the following term, and fairly a good number of them did. So my challenges, I felt like I went with the mindset of someone that wanted to learn, and I was able to learn so much. But there are still some challenges that were beyond me and that I didn't understand. Like teenage pregnancy. There were like three young girls that were pregnant in middle school during the conference. The parents' financial capabilities were just things that were beyond me and I couldn't change. A lot of parents talk about the harvesting period that was just like after the back to school time. So a lot of them did not have the financial resources to be able to send their kids back to school at the time when they need to. Teachers limited resources, student language barrier, and then I decided to put these different things into what I could fix and what I couldn't fix. And then I decided to take steps to help. So the first one was that with my family, we decided to contribute. So we're able to donate chalk and paper for printing, which was very important at that time, was a very important need. Then with my fellowship program and the Kennedy Human Rights Center, we set up a donation page and I was able to get $1,050 that are going towards the school too. And then the long-term vision, I'm applying currently for a grant to be able to build a library for the students so that they can have books to read and just improve their French overall and understand what is being taught to them. The last thing is my reflection on the John Lewis Young Leader Scholar Fellowship. I feel like this was a very rewarding experience. I was able to learn networking, how to make good connection, and actually how to build these connections. I was able to learn how to step into new opportunities. I was able to learn how to be a leader, communication skills, planning skills, and I just felt like it was extremely good. And I expect to continue find ways to make the library happen for the kids. And next year I'm going to my junior year of college, so I'll focus on that and I will continue also with my academics, which is study economics and international relations. Thank you and send me any questions if you have.